geometry, we will be covering triangle congruency. A congruent triangle means that it is the same size and shape. What transformation is this, Megan?
That would be a translation.
Indeed. The first way to prove triangle congruency is side, side, side. If three sides of one triangle are congruent to three sides of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Therefore, through SSS, triangle DEF is congruent to triangle GHI. If two sides and the included angle of a triangle are congruent to two sides and the included angle of another, then the triangles are congruent. Triangle DEF is congruent to triangle GHI through side angle side. If two angles and the included side of a triangle are congruent to two angles and the included side of another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. If two angles and a non-included side of a triangle are congruent to two angles and the corresponding non-including side of another triangle, then they are congruent. If the hypotenuse and a leg of a right triangle are congruent to the hypotenuse and a leg of another right triangle, then the triangles are congruent. Now we will be covering triangle similarity. When a triangle is similar to another triangle, it is the same shape but different size. As shown by the dashes, the mid-segment theorem is when the middle line, right there, is parallel to the third side.
Shown by the triangles.
Shown by the triangles. The mid-segment is half of the third side. So the small triangle is half of the whole triangle. This means it is a dilation. How to identify a scale factor? It would be the new image, the big triangle, over the old image. Triangle ACB is similar to triangle DCE. Now we will be talking about the reflexive property. The reflexive property is when two triangles share one side. Side AC of both triangles are congruent to each other, and this reflexive property can be used as a proof to show how two triangles are congruent to each other. Shared angle is another example of reflexive property. As you can see, triangle GIJ is congruent to triangle KIH. Our next proof is vertical angles are congruent. These two triangles share angle G as a vertex. These triangles exemplify vertical angles because angle HGI is congruent to angle FGE. When two lines intersect, these angles share a common vertice. Going back to the reflexive property example, we will now show you how to do a flow proof. With these given statements, we can infer that line AC is congruent to line AC because it's a shared line. And that reason is reflexive property. So after all of these statements, we can now assume that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC. And this is because of angle, side.